Welcome back to the TGOM podcast, episode 31. This week I am still your co-host. I was skipping ahead there. I am your co-host, Mega Rights Fan, with my co-host.
Oh, Pale Bread Painter.
Dead space is a bad thing, by the way, when you're doing a podcast.
Yes.
Dead
You,
air,
you
excuse me.
you would think I would know how to do this after doing it for what, almost a year?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I say with my co-host, and then it takes a second for you to respond, and so I just
Yeah.
assume that I assume it's just lag, like in our
No,
connection.
that's just me.
Mental
That's just,
lag.
yeah, it's my brain starts lagging.
Yeah.
And comes back in, and there's a nail sticking out of the back of his head, and it's like deep in the back of his head.
Jesus. Yeah, didn't he die?
Yeah, I killed him.
Okay. I just needed a refresher to remember.
Yeah, he's dead. The orgy server, of course.
Yes, the orgy server. That's crazy. There's drama in the the Lego Battles Reddit.
I guess. We used to play 3 people on a Chromebook, which you have to understand that is the most cramped keyboard. We had 3 hands.
You're like, shut down. It's like, alright, shutting down, Brian. Like, no. Yeah. Beware of the well. Sometimes you can still hear them at night whispering, Arigato. Welcome to my Facebook Live.
So this week, we're gonna talk. There's a whole bunch of random stuff. And we're gonna start with that the Fallout. There's a Fallout TV show coming out
Is
sometime.
there actually?
I think it went into production this year.
Interesting.
I don't know when it's gonna come out on. If it's ever gonna come out, I just know that I believe it is. I just know that it's in work. The works. Oh, it's Amazon Studios. So I'm guessing Amazon Prime, I guess.
So part of me is like, ooh, Fallout. I love Fallout. And the other part's like, but like, Fallout didn't really have a good story in a lot of the games. Like for the main characters. You know?
Probably gonna be a whole separate story.
True. If they do it well, it could be cool, but
yeah, if it's about like Fallout 4, then yeah, no, that's gonna be cringe.
And Fallout 3, I can't complain about Fallout 3's story because, it was just Fallout 4's story, but first and slightly more interesting. Like
just chasing your dad.
Like, yeah, like you're his son, and it's like, oh my god, my dad was like.
And let me guess, he works for the Enclave.
Don't know. I think he was his own thing. He was just a group of scientists, and they're like, we're gonna try to restore the world. And he ended up like he found a shelter or one of the bunkers, whatever they're called, vaults. I'm stupid. He found a vault and he sort of like made a family there, continued his research, and left. I forget why he left, but he left you behind, and everyone's like, "You're a traitor! So is your father. We'll kill you now." And you're like, well, actually, my father isn't a traitor. Neither am I. So screw all of you. I'm gonna kill you guys, and I'm gonna leave. Nah, you don't have to kill people.
No, you do.
I remember this like one kid. Oh, dude, there's a part where you have to like when you're like a kid setting up your character, you have to like either like just like take a beating or beat the heck out of this other kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm obviously gonna beat the crap out of him. I don't care about my reputation.
Of course, yeah.
Like I immediately was like, I'm gonna beat you up. I don't care. But you could save his mom later, and he gives you a jacket. He's like, "Yeah, you're one of us now." Like, okay, thanks, guy.
Oh yeah, it gives you the tunnel snakes jacket or whatever.
Yeah, like melee damage. Like, all right, that's cool, I guess. But I'm gonna have to restart that game because my save data's gone because I've switched to new computer.
Oh yes.
The save data won't cross over for some reason.
Okay, so he's not a part of the Enclave. I was wrong. It's not like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 where it's like I'm actually the big bad guy. I run the Institute.
See,
I am your son. Cool.
honest,
Boom. Kills him.
honestly, it was hard for me to tell if the Institute was like bad or good in the end because, like, I mean, they're doing some crappy things, but what they're trying to do is like restart the world, but they have slaves.
Yeah.
Like it was
I
really
think their
weird.
head's in the right place of trying to help, but at the same time, like there is already. I think the thing is there was already people restarting. Like a whole point of the game, like a huge gameplay, is making your own settlement, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
they're trying to reset the world when it's already essentially resetting and like repopulating and whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah, at least that's how I
like
saw it. I mean, yeah.
like I feel like if I was really in the situation, it's like, do you want to side with the Institute or do you want to live in the wastelands? I feel like I would go Institute because I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna survive in these wastelands.
Did
Like
you beat
for
the?
me, that would be,
Is that how you beat
huh?
the game with the Institute? Sorry to cut you
No,
off,
no.
but
When I played the game, I was like, oh, it's easy, wastelands, blow up the Institute, easy.
yeah. Oh, of
Like
course. Yeah.
I played every single like team, you know. I was on everyone's side up until the end where I had to actually make a choice. And I was like, okay, now I'm gonna burn everyone to the ground.
Mhm.
Except for the railroad. They're the only ones that I liked.
Yeah, I ended up
Literally,
being with the
I
railroad at the end.
yeah, I hated everyone. They everyone was bad.
Mhm.
Like heck, the Brotherhood of Steel turns on its own teammates. Like
That sounds
remember there
like the
was the
Brotherhood of Steel.
like because there was someone who is like he was like a top guy, you know. He's like I am a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I'm like a really important member.
Right, right, right.
And
As
then
you do when you're important.
people are like he might be a synth, and they're like, oh my god, he might be a synth. I said simp.
He might be a simp.
He might be a synth. Okay, let's kill him.
Mhm.
So he goes on the run and hides, and is like trying to kill himself when you find him. And I'm like, oh my god, bro, like you don't have to kill yourself.
Is that the
What you doing?
guy in like no, that's a different person. Never mind. Sorry.
Like, I just really, I also don't like the Brotherhood of Steel's like whole thing where it's like, aha, we're big, strong, and tough.
You
Look at
don't
our big
like you
guns.
don't like their arrogance?
No, not at all.
Huh. Wow, you would think
Like,
that'd catch on.
right? It's like the I have heavy firepower and that's
Mhm.
my whole thing. It's not interesting to me. But the railroad, like, oh yeah, we're all about like stealth and like covert
Yeah.
operations, is like
That's
safe, you know. It's like, ooh,
that's why I
okay,
joined the railroad cuz I was like I like the covert stuff like like sneaking around. And I also
yeah.
thought the I don't remember his name. I haven't played Fallout 4 in forever. But I think he's like a companion you can get. And he wears like sunglasses and he's like, "Yeah, I change my figure like every few months so that I can like trail different people." And it's like, "That's awesome."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I never used him as a companion. I kind of got two companions and stuck with them the entire game.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if he is a companion. I think he is, but I never had him as a companion.
See, I had married some like Australian girl or something. She had an accent.
Oh, Cass,
Probably
the
you
girl
find
in
her in
the
like a fighting
arena.
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, married her. She was in my party, and then I got the Curry. Yeah, Curry,
Madame
the
Curie,
robot.
the one who died.
No, I got the robot
Oh.
Curry.
I
She has an Indian accent.
Something funny about the about the arena. So I think I had beaten the game at that point, and I had Piper as my companion.
Hmm.
And I had her for a while, and so like I had done like some of the romantic dialogue options, which is like one because it's the stupid four options of dialogue.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and we were like in the middle of a firefight, and I like for some reason was like, I'm gonna talk to you. And we just started like she was like, I really like you as like there's just gunfire going off. People are shooting at us. It was really funny.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
It was also that also happened when we were you're helping Paladin Vargas, I think. Like the first time you meet the Brotherhood of Steel at the Concord police station, I think. And you go to
Mhm.
like the Repcon facility, and then you have to turn on the jet turbine to kill all like the synths or the ghouls. No synths.
Mm.
And while that
Mhm.
was happening, I took a screenshot because I was like, I was gonna talk to Piper while this is happening. He can handle himself. I took a screenshot of him like fighting 10 synths as we're just like talking. It was really funny.
See,
So.
I had a lot of fun with the different, what's it called? Like just like the like random factories you had to go around
Mhm.
and just like, all right, I'm gonna plan my route, just gonna like use my little sniper scope, look around, pick them off one by one, and then go guns blazing, because like I really enjoyed that part of that game.
I mean, yeah,
For
the whole combat system is way better than any other Fallout game. So, like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
is
like
way better. Like, yeah.
hands down. Because you get to see when you have radiation poisoning, you
Mhm.
can actually see your health bar at all points in the game. Because in the other ones, it'll disappear sometimes when you're not in combat. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. Um, um, like there was just so many nice like quality of life improvements in
Yeah.
four.
I think
I
that's
mean,
why I still like 4 even though the story was pretty balls because I just like the
the,
yeah, I like the look of it.
the system was arguably more glitchy than 3 or 4, though. Or 3 in New Vegas, yeah. Like arguably a worse system when it comes to glitches, though. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie. Like when you walk into water and then you fall out of the world, it's like, oh, this game came out in like what 2010, and I'm having this, huh?
It's like 20 wait, when did Fallout 4 come
Yeah,
out?
I'm looking it up now. Shit.
9 out of 10 on Steam. Wow. 2015. I was gonna say
20, yep,
2015 too. I was
2015. Yeah, a game that came out like 7 years ago, and you're still falling out of the world because they didn't get the boundaries right. Like that's crazy to me.
Mhm.
You know,
Well,
uh,
swiftly moving. Unless you have something else to say. Sorry.
nah, no, no, that's it for me.
Okay. Um,
So, like I was saying, continue.
I was gonna say because you were talking about clipping through the water. I was gonna talk about the new Saints Row game that just came out that everyone hates because it's really bad. Like the
Saints Row, I've
Saints
heard about
Row
that.
is a like okay, large and wide. It is like a Grand Theft Auto copycat, but it is so much better than Grand Theft Auto. Um, so
I,
Saints Row,
hey, yo.
the new one came out, and it's been a while since Saints Row. Cause I think Saints Row 4 came out 2013, 2014, something, and then the new one came out this year. And it's like the writing is abominable. The the gameplay is boring at best. 2013 is when Saints Row 4 came out. Like it's mostly just like turret scenes where you are like on a car shooting at bad guys, and that's like every single
um,
combat scene. Um, the
this game
world
looks so weird.
the world is empty. There's like nothing to do. It's really boring. However, I love Saints Row because I bought the 4th game like a long while ago, and I played it
Hmm.
all night one time. Like I didn't sleep and I just played it, and I was like, this game sucks. Actually, I hate this game. And then I stopped playing it for like a year maybe, and then I downloaded it again. I was like, I'll play it, and then I like, put in 16 hours in like a week. Um, and then so because I don't know, there's something just so funny. Like the writing is really good and it's like very funny. But it's not too insane, but it's like just the right amount of like crazy. Like how is this happening? But it's also like yeah, that's plausible. Um, and then I recently got Saints Row 2, which I've put 20 hours in. Haven't even owned it for 2 weeks. Um,
Yikes, that's wild.
and
That's so many
and the
hours.
thing is, it's like the port for Saints Row 2 on PC is abominable, which is the second time I've used that word. I haven't used that word in forever. Cause like, so you'll be playing at least for me, I'll be playing the game, driving around, and then I either turn too fast or I hit a wall, like graze a wall, and then all of a sudden I'm going at like 2 frames a second, and I can't see what I'm doing.
Oh no.
Um, and
Oh
sometimes the
shoot.
game, like I'll go into a store and like buy clothes, and then the game will just crash as I'm going through the menus. Um,
Oh,
I had one
interesting.
mission called Laundry Day where you're trying to launder this money you stole, and right at the final cutscene, as soon as the cutscene ended, the game would crash, and that happened like 4 times. And it like I had to I installed a mod called Gentleman of the Row, which like stabilizes it. I think it did for me. It like stabilizes the game, and then I could finally
Mhm.
get through that mission. Um, so I had to play it like 5 times or maybe 10 times. Um,
It's crazy that it's like, oh hey, yeah, you have to download this mod to make the game playable because
yeah,
the programming was so messy that it doesn't function correctly.
it's
Like
wild.
that's insane. So it's like, okay, this mod streamlines the programming and fixes certain errors. And it's like the fact you need to download mods
Hmm.
like that just to just
It
to make things work.
I mean,
Mind blowing.
I have the mod like in obviously, but it still crashes every once in a while. So you have, and it's like in the mod description, there's like or not in the description, there's like an install text file, and at the bottom he's like, you need to save every time you do something because this game will crash on you and you will lose all of your progress. And not even save over, you have to new files every single time. So I've been saving like a
Absolutely.
madman.
Yeah.
Just like go to a
Yep.
store, save, leave a store,
So
save, buy ammo, save, do a mission, save.
so Jacob, now you know why I'm like such a serial saver and I always have so many save slots.
Mm-hmm.
Like older games, the games that I always play, are always like that. It's insane. Like I love older games, but like sometimes it's like, oh, so because I played to this point and like I forgot to do this or I did things this particular way,
You can't
I've
do it.
created a game-breaking glitch that I didn't see until way later.
Yeah.
Now I have to restart, or unless I have that save file from right before that choice. It's like, if you don't have it, oh well, you're done with the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was playing an RPG where I got a character that you get later in the game as well, but he was only temporary. You only have him for like one little mission, and he's like the party leader for like 10 minutes. I checked his stats and his skills and tried to upgrade them before I was supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And because of that, I glitched everyone's upgradable like skill trees for the rest of the game. So I couldn't upgrade anyone, and I couldn't even see their spells or skills when I went to fight. So I
Nice.
could no longer use magic at all. I could only basic attack. Otherwise, the game would just stop functioning, or they would use like random enemy skills instead. There would be like visuals that start breaking down. I was like, oh my god.
Awesome. I mean,
Like
yeah.
like I saved before I did that because I wasn't even sure if I was able to do it at first. I was like, I'm gonna save first. I checked it out. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Started playing the game, and I was like, oh, I can't use skills anymore. And as soon as I noticed it, I was like, all right, revert, revert.
Yeah. I mean, even despite all this, like it crashes very often. I still again 20 hours. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, I've actually been considering getting Persona 1 and 2 for my emulators because I
mm-hmm.
I finally got it work. So I have a PS1 and PS2 emulator functioning that functions with Rumble for my controller. I'll have you know. So that is exciting.
Ooh.
You would not believe how long it has taken me to get a PS4 controller to function with Rumble on a Microsoft computer. You wouldn't think that that is an issue, but it certainly is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So is Rumble like joy to key where it's like it turns your keyboard into a controller so you can use a controller on things you couldn't normally use a controller on?
well, on most emulators, they can like detect when you've plugged in a controller.
Yeah.
Um, that wasn't the problem. It would always detect my PS4 controller, and I could use it. You know,
Oh,
if
but
the
it wouldn't
emulator was functioning.
rumble?
It would not rumble because of one thing. Microsoft computers don't recognize DS input. It only recognizes X input, which is Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because Microsoft is like, screw anything that isn't us. You just can't do Rumble. So I had to find a software program that actually converts it. And not only that, I had to find one that also hides the fact that it's a PS4 controller. Because it pretends it's an Xbox controller, and if you don't hide the fact that it's actually a PS4 controller, it thinks there's two controllers connected at the same time, making you unable to play correctly. So there's some weird stuff with that.
Yeah.
But I can finally play the Persona games with Rumble on an emulator.
Why do you want Rumble so bad?
Because without Rumble, you would not believe how weird games feel without Rumble. Like when you're using a controller and you don't feel like a slight rumble when certain things happen, when you're very clearly supposed to feel something happening, so weird. It's like when someone in a game is like, "Oh my god, did you feel that?" And like the whole screen is shaking, and you're like, "Oh, what's happening?" Like,
I think there's like an earthquake.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can tell what's happening. But like, there's also games like,
I guess.
Yeah, also games like Silent Hill, it tells you what your health is at based on your heartbeat. So the controller rumbles to your heartbeat. So like some games kind of require rumble to be effective or actually immerse or feel right. So without it, some games are just unplayable. Silent Hill was a pain because if I got hit once, I was never sure if I was gonna die in the next hit. Like I was like, I best just not get hit. Because
I mean, if anything, that makes for a more scary experience, I guess, where you're like, I don't know if I'm about to die.
I think it's scarier when you can feel like your heartbeat because you're in a completely silent room that's pitch black and you feel your heartbeat like going really fast because you're like, I'm about to die. And I can feel that I'm about to die any moment. If anything came up and smacks me, oh my god, you know. Because when I don't have the rumble, I don't know if I should be scared or not. So I'll be just walking around. I'm like, oh, I got hit. I'm like, oh, I died. Whoops. Because I'm just not thinking about it. I'm like, oh crap. Okay. But with the rumble, I'm constantly aware of like, oh no, I'm dying. Anyway.
Swiftly moving on.
New catchphrase.
So I've been saying I've said that a lot, I think. I don't know. Anyways, there's a game on Steam called Domina. It's probably no, it's not Domina. DOMINA. Domina?
Domina.
Anyways, it's like a gladiator. I'm guessing like a gladiator game. Yeah, it's like a gladiator game. And it was on Steam for a while. And he released, I guess, patch notes that for some reason was like demeaning a trans streamer and was in a post and was joking about sex change. And yeah.
Well, that's a way to get canceled, I guess.
Oh, sorry, it rebranded to Dominus. Whatever, I don't care. Which, oh, I get it. So he was trying to make a joke that it went from Domina to Dominus, and it was like it had undergone a sex change. Got it.
Oh.
And then it gets more direct. As he tells a streamer and asks players to stop destroying the innocence of children by lying to them about basic biology.
Hey, yo, what?
Yeah. That's so wild, dude. Who, like, just make your game.
Wild. Oh, no, Jacob. Because I'm on Steam right now. And because of the games that I've played with you, it's suggesting some games. Do you want to know what game it's suggesting?
Yeah, sure.
Furry Sex Pirates Edition. It's a tower defense NSFW nudity hentai game.
Yo, tower defense? Yo, pick that up.
It's on discount right now. $4.89.
Ignore the rest of that, dude. Tower defense, dude. Pick that up, dude.
I hovered over it, and it's just, oh my god.
Pick that. What are the towers like? Is it actually a tower defense game, or
You know
is it
what?
just putting that in there?
Let's look at this. Let us look at this. Oh no. No, that's so visual.
Yeah, just describe it. Don't screen share or anything. Just describe, please.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're not even hiding some of the graphical images.
So are the towers inappropriate, or is it like you earn
I didn't even
images
see
by
any
winning?
towers before I clicked away. I didn't even see any towers before I clicked away.
Oh,
Because the first two images
boo.
were naked foxes. You know,
I thought you liked
tits
Foxy. No, you like
covered in
Montgomery, don't
they
you?
were covered in stuff.
Covered
You
in
could see their
stuff, covered in cream.
yeah, man. You could see their bottom parts and everything. It's like, oh boy,
Yo.
what?
Anyways, yeah. So that game got banned or removed
Time to
from
share
Steam.
it to you, obviously.
Yeah, share it to me. I'll pick that up.
Oh my god, that's so
That's
funny.
really okay. I'll look into it later. Anyways, yeah. So the game got banned and removed from Steam because this guy went on a transphobe tangent in his patch notes, which is a wild place to do rants, but whatever. So,
Should have, Twitter, bro.
I mean, yeah. At least there you get an echo chamber of people that agree with you. So
Exactly.
all right, let's do a bit of let's take a toe dip in the political corner. We're not no one rant.
Oh,
We're
no.
just
Are we getting political
taking
again?
a toe dip because this is something I saw and I thought it was
So,
interesting.
time for us to get political again on the podcast.
God.
Woo!
Women need to
About women, right?
about women. Yeah, let's take a tiny dip into the political corner here, guys. Women need to stay in their place.
Women
No.
need to stay in the kitchen, obviously.
No, I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ.
Joking.
Obviously jokes. Obviously.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the I don't even know if you were on the internet for this because I know you know my video about the furry war, which that's a disgrace video. Do not watch that. But do you understand what I'm talking? Like the video I made called the furry war or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there is this trend on TikTok where they were like there were gamers versus furries, which I mean I think there's a lot of overlap between gamers and furries.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's kind of ironic.
But
One
anyways,
of the
yeah, there's a lot of overlap in those two. Whatever, doesn't matter. And so they were like people doing sounds of gunshots and they're acting like they're fighting a war or whatever with Nerf guns or whatever. It was kind of funny at the time. It was funny. And then like there were some TikToks of, and I'm sure these women did it as a joke. But they were like in the kitchen being like, "I'm making sandwiches for our soldiers out in the front lines." It's like, right. I'm really glad that this is being perpetuated through a gaming / furry war or whatever, but whatever.
That's just kind of funny. That's actually funny.
It is funny, but it's like,
so
yeah.
Going for stereotypes as a joke is kind of funny. Like, I'll go for some gay stereotypes if it's for a joke. Like,
I mean, it is. Yeah, it was funny, but it's whatever. Anyway, that's not important. That's not what we're talking. That's not what. Okay, we're actually dipping into the political corner. Apparently, we need like a. Should we get a jingle? Bum
yes.
Bum bum bum. Something like Fox News.
Just
Breaking news.
Edit in like a little banner that like shows and like play a song where it's like Jacob and Nick's political time.
Well, no, it would be like a jingle. It wouldn't be like a O'Reilly's Auto Parts. It'd be like a breaking news on like a whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. Political corner. Apparently, Trump is rallying in Pennsylvania, for president. So are
you serious?
So he's either going to, and I don't know. I think he's been disgraced by the Republican Party, but I could be wrong. So he's either going to run independent or he's going to run Republican. And honestly, I don't want to say it, but I think he's going to win because Joe Biden is asleep in the office right now. And that's not
Yeah, I
even
heard
me
he hasn't
saying
done
like
much.
I disagree with any of his statements or anything. I'm just saying I think he is dead in the water.
He just hasn't been doing much from what I
Yeah.
heard. Like,
So
what is it with presidents not doing anything? And the ones that do stuff are doing bad things. What is this? I don't understand. Man.
yeah, it's I don't know, man.
Like, I get there's a lot of pressure on being president
Well,
because it's
okay.
like now the whole country is looking at you. But like, bro,
So here's the thing. I think people are mad that Biden. We voted him in because we were like, we don't want
he's
Trump,
not Trump.
obviously.
Yeah, he's not
Um,
Trump.
yeah, exactly. It wasn't Trump, but I think people expected him to do more than just. I mean, yes, he has relieved the student loan debt or whatever, which is important. I don't. The whatever is not me being like shrugging at that. Um, but like other than that, like gas prices are shooting up, everything else is going through the roof, and he's like asking gas companies, "Can you guys please lower prices?" When he has the full power to be like, "I'm mandating that you guys cannot raise your prices above this," you know? He's just
Yeah,
like, "Shell
he.
Corporation, please don't do that. Please lower your prices for the Americans." It's like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude."
So I actually don't fully understand why gas prices went up. At first, I thought it was because like of
It's
like the stuff that was going on in like the other countries where there was like that war
yeah.
stuff happening. I thought that was what it was.
So I think that's what
Now I don't
started
know.
it, but now I think that they're just gouging people because they know that
Yeah.
because they're like making all this money and they know that I think they're doing it themselves. I think the gas companies. I heard this somewhere. This isn't me just talking. Um, this was on like another. This is on like an actual economy and like politics podcast. So I'm it could still be wrong, but whatever. I think that the gas companies are like making this shortage just so they can make more money, which is why gas
hmm
prices are still super high, even though like people have fully distanced themselves from Russia, and like America has released or United States has released their I don't know. They said Biden was like we have hundreds. No, I'm just do Trump. Hold on, I'm trying to do a Biden. Um, what does he say? He's like I can't do a Biden. Never mind. They like released hundreds of gallons of worth of like reserved oil or gasoline to like ease the whatever, and like I haven't seen really any effect of that because they're like, I mean, I guess okay, gasoline
Just
has gone down. I think diesel hasn't moved at all. Um,
yeah.
so I don't know, man. Like I just think you need to have more cojones as the president. Then can you please lower gas prices,
I mean,
please?
I get trying to be careful and all, but like, yo, no one can like live.
Yeah, everything is
It's
expensive.
it's like $70 to fill a gas tank.
Yeah,
Like, what is that? That's insane.
incendiary rally. Trump, yeah,
Like,
running
it's
president. People are gonna think I'm like a Republican now. At least Google is like, oh, he's googling all this stuff. I'm gonna give him QAnon. Look what the government's doing to you. Pizzagate, Pizzagate. It's like, no, I'm not. That's not me. Sorry, continue. Um,
yeah, I have a lot of family members that believe in QAnon and like super conspiracy stuff. It's kind of wild. Like, like sometimes I try to like be like, I mean, but like, do you have any actual proof? They're like, but this person said so, and all
uh-huh.
of these people are saying so. I'm like, but that's not actually proof. You know that, right? And they're like, well, if you don't want to believe me and you think it's all bullshit, then that's your opinion. I'm like, I'm just saying I want some actual like documents, like actual like photos. I want proof of any kind. And they're like, I guess we can't appease you then. I'm like, okay then.
Mhm.
Like, I want more than like a supposed email that has like no receipts of any kind. You know, I don't want to just see something written in a text document
Yeah.
that can be easily made from anyone without any recipient or sender. Like that these are not evidence.
I think And I really think what's not helping the Democrats is like they're asking for money from people, like, please give us money so that we can run for president again. And it's like, you're not doing anything. Why would we want you in office again? Like,
I actually hate that. I really, really hate
it's like
how we make people president
it
is by
is.
spending so much
Yeah,
money
as a
on their
citizen, it is not
campaigns.
my job to pay you to run the country. I mean, I guess I pay taxes, but I'm not paying the Democrats to help them in their candidacy so that they can
Yeah,
actually make it to president.
it's
I
not even
mean,
paying for anything relevant. It's your campaign.
I'm paying for your
Like,
bus, dude. I'm paying for your gas, which I can't pay for.
yeah, I
Yeah, it's
hate our
so
country. I
stupid.
hate the world, bro.
Yeah, it
Like,
is. Yeah, wow, it's wild.
it's just so stupid. It's all so stupid. Like,
It's like, yeah,
why
and
do we
I'm,
spend so
and
much
then,
money?
and like, okay, so, and I think people are also just mad that Biden is in office, who is a Democrat, and the Democrats have been, well, historically, haven't been progressive. Actually, fun fact: the Democrats were actually the ones who liked slavery. Fun fact, which is why Abraham
Yeah,
Lincoln was a Republican. It's not.
yeah.
It's
Like
not important. I'm not saying Democrats are bad. I'm just saying.
at some point, a lot of like the ideals between Democrats and Republicans had actually changed. I don't know when that had happened exactly, but there is actually a point in history where they just kind of swapped
Yeah,
ideas,
and
and it's
that's
insane
not saying
because
Democrats are bad. Whatever. I'm not trying to. I'm okay. Political corner. The TGOM podcast is just trying to be objective, but also a little biased. But it's okay.
it's just kind of funny to think about how Democrats and Republicans they're very opposite on a lot of ideas. Just at some point in history, their
They
opposition
they
flipped.
swapped. Yeah.
Like they swapped on so many ideas,
Uh huh.
and like, how do you just switch?
Yeah. I
It's
don't.
really interesting.
Anyways, so the Democrats are historically very progressive, but then we have a Democrat president, and then I'm not going to talk about this a lot. Then Roe versus Wade gets reversed or gets, removed
What
essentially.
is that about?
So
That's actually
it
crazy.
and it's like, is there a Democrat and there's like, isn't there a Democrat majority in the House? Like, how is this
Knocking
happening?
shit over.
I didn't knock anything over.
Mm-hmm.
Casper did.
You were saying, Jacob.
I was saying Roe versus Wade gets removed, making abortion illegal. And it's like the Democrats are in office, and I believe they have a majority in like the House and like Congress. So it's like, how is this happening? Like, how can you let this happen if you are supposed to be this progressive unit or whatever for America? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. It's confusing, and whatever. I
Yeah.
don't. And then they ask for more money. Like, we need to keep running for Congress and president so we
Well,
can
then
get you what you
again,
want. It's like, you're not fighting for me. You're fighting for yourself at this point.
the Roe versus Wade stuff that comes down to the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many of them are actually Democratic, because didn't Trump put in like one or two people?
Every
Like he
president
was,
puts in a person. Yeah.
yeah. Like I remember Trump was trying to like load up the Supreme Court with people he wanted, and like he was trying to do that before he
Supreme
left.
Court Dems and reps. Yeah. It's weird. So I read on this website, I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm I'm assuming it's true that Trump he's gonna try and run for Republican, so he's gonna like fight for the other people who are gonna try to run for Republican. Um but I mean again, if he loses, like he has such a following at this point, I would not be
The sad thing
surprised if
is,
he tried to run independent or something and then like came
this
close to winning.
the sad thing is, I think he'll win the popularity vote.
Yeah.
Like that's the sad thing.
It's
I think he'll.
yeah, he has such a
Like,
following of just
I
brainwashed
yeah.
people. I hate to use
I
the word brainwash, but like,
yeah. I mean, there's
yeah,
no other word you can use at this point. Like he honestly has a chance at winning, and that is disgusting.
yeah.
I have very clear opinions, obviously.
Okay, 53,
Jeez.
47. I don't. Okay, is it which number's which? Uh, whatever.
If his blue is democratic,
Appointed by Bush. Appointed by H. That's another thing. These people need. dates to when they have to leave, like every other political official or government official. Like some of these people have been in here forever, and it's like, get out,
Yeah, that's kind of man.
Yeah, it's all right. We should probably step out of the political corner. We've been in it for a while.
It's so disappointing though. Like
Yeah.
they're about to overturn a bunch of laws that like they're about to get rid of gay marriage as well.
Yeah,
That's
I
the thing
saw
they're
that.
looking at.
Yeah.
Like women don't get rights, gays don't get rights, and black people don't get rights. That's what's gonna happen.
It's so wild, dude.
You know.
Yeah.
Because I think they were also looking at like biracial marriage on if that should exist. And I was like, yikes.
I don't that's okay, that's pushing it. That seems like wild. That's almost too wild to I believe that. Hold on.
That was one of the ones they were looking at overturning. I'm not sure if they're gonna, but that was one that they were looking at. I was like, yikes.
Wait, what? Okay, McLaughlin versus v. Florida. Florida statute prohibits an unmarried interracial couple from habitually living in and occupying the same room in the nighttime. Is that real? Huh?
That's
Oh, it was
stupid.
declared unconstitutional in 1967. Okay. That's so funny. Oh man.
What in the
Oh
world?
man.
That's actually funny. Oh my god.
Oh, it's so funny. I mean, that's not funny, but that's really funny. Oh man.
What in the world? Nah. Okay.
You can't cohabitate at night with a person of a different race. That is so funny. I mean, it's not, but it's very funny. Sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna do it just to be illegal. Who's gonna catch you?
Yeah, it's like who
I see you.
Who is breaking into your house and being like, "Hey, you can't do that."
Like, what is my mom gonna see and call the cops? What?
Oh man, that's really funny.
My goodness.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is really funny. America's had some stupid laws or rules, just in like state rules, countrywide. What a place we live.
Okay, here's something. As Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade, some experts fear interracial marriage may be the next target. Oh wow, you're right. I think, according to Insider, you're right.
It's less concrete than I thought, honestly, because it's they fear, not that's been confirmed.
When the nation's highest court nullified federal abortion rights that had been no, I don't want to sign up for this.
But yeah, at the very least, people are scared that it's gonna happen, and I'm like, oof.
Yeah, Justice Clarence Thomas, definitely a Republican white guy, expressed that the court should also reconsider rulings that protect contraception access. Well, like Plan B, or is that?
Oh my god, that's wild. Okay. Because the funny thing is, like, there's a lot of women that don't just use birth control to stop from having birth; they also use it to control other things, like women issues. That's not right. To talk about. But yeah, like it's used as more than just birth control at this point.
No, not contraptions. God, I can't spell for the life of me. I try to look at contraceptives and I cannot. Okay, yeah, it's birth control. I was like, the government used these big words and it's like trying to throw it over the average person's head. So yeah, whatever. Okay, rulings to protect contraceptive access. It's like buying Plan B at the corner store, and then like same-sex relationships and same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Dang, like if same-sex relationships are legal? What? Wait.
Same-sex has been legal since Obama. Or legal, not illegal. Legal since Obama.
Well, the way it sounded for a second was like same-sex and same-sex marriages. So
You're right.
same-sex
I
is
misread
about to be
that.
illegal?
Yeah. I read same sex as like just I don't know how I read that. I read it wrong though. Yeah, so they're banning even date. They're gonna reconsidering banning people that just date gay, essentially. So you
Oh my
can't date
goodness.
gay and you can't marry gay, is what they're reconsidering. It's not happening yet.
Oh, I love our country.
When does article? June 24th this year. Huh. Wow.
Like,
It's
I
why?
love our country.
It's like, who are you helping by doing this stuff? Like, you're just helping you're helping. Okay, I'm gonna get into a tangent. I'm just gonna cut myself off now because they're not helping anyone. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh man, can't wait to be illegal.
Yeah, Nick, you're gonna get shot in the streets.
I really am though. Oh god.
Talk about racial profiling. You're gonna get sexually profiled. You're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks that I have the voice that I have. Boy.
Yeah. At least you're not like Alex. Not
I'm not
Alex.
Alex.
Not
Yo!
Alex from Minecraft. Different Alex.
We need to start protecting Alex. Do we need to like call him up, be like, hey bro.
Alex, change your voice now. Start working on your mannerisms.
Bro. You either gotta be really convincing of the other way, or like, bro.
By the way, Alex is a guy from high school.
Yes.
What's the word? Very flamboyant.
Flamboyant.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That's the exact word I was looking for too.
Like, oh boy.
All right. Sorry.
Oh.
Let's. I said this like 5-10 minutes ago. Let's take our toes out of the political corner.
Yeah, I think we should. Things might get darker if we keep going.
Let's move into
happy
gaming news. Happy gaming news. Guess what? New Battle Royale is coming out. Yes.
Oh god. No, I'm depressed now. You made me
depressed. It's called Rumbleverse, and it's a free-to-play wrestling battle royale. So it's not shooting, you wrestle.
Wait. Okay, I'm actually interested now. What? I'm confused. A wrestling battle royale.
It's by Fortnite.
It's by Epic. No, I'm interested. I don't want to know anymore.
Free-to-play online game Rumbleverse mixes wrestling with Fortnite, and it feels really unique for a battle royale.
I mean, I bet it's unique, but like, dude, get out of here. No. Epic Games needs to stop.
Excited for Rumbleverse?
I'm not excited for Epic Games anymore.
It's gonna have customization you can buy through a battle pass. You're just giving Epic more money. Yay!
The only thing that's cool about Epic Games is the fact that their games launcher gives free games sometimes.
Yeah, I
like
guess.
that's how like several of my friends got Borderlands 3 for free.
I had to pay for it because I'm an idiot.
I bought it for like $5 on Steam because it was like 90% off.
I didn't know until I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ooh. Super cheap.
You're not excited for a new Battle Royale? I'm so tired about
Battle Royale. I hate. They're so bad. They're the worst form of gaming. I'm calling it.
I don't know if they're the worst, but they're definitely oversaturated. I think they were fun at the beginning, but like, yeah, now they're just oversaturated. And
I mean, are you saying like tower defense games are worse than battle royales?
No.
I think gacha games are better than battle royales.
I think gacha games and battle royales are the same thing.
And that's the sad thing.
I mean, if Fortnite had loot crates instead of just buying skins directly, it would basically be a gacha game.
Yeah.
Because it's free to play. Yeah, it's on you can get it on your phone. At least you could. Like
also, the thing about gacha games is they always have an option to get the stuff for free. You just have to play a crap ton.
Oh yeah, you'd play like hundreds of hours.
Yeah, hundreds of hours, but you can still get the stuff.
It takes 100 gems to buy this crate. You get 1 gem every 25 hours you play. Or every 500,000 kills you can get 1 gem.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's insane. But like Fortnite, it's like, oh yeah, buy the battle pass and then you can get this stuff.
Yeah.
Or or directly to buy the stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it technically gives you the option, not in Fortnite, but in gacha games. But it's like, is it really an option? Because it's like, yeah.
I mean, at least there is it's like a work 20 times as hard as someone who pays, but at least you can just do stuff.
But okay.
While on the other hand, you pay for a fake currency to buy a battle pass to start getting stuff. And it's like, okay, all right.
I think the difference is in gacha games, which I think I retract my statement saying they would be different if they were loot crates in Fortnite. Because in gacha games, usually when you do the loot crates or the character grabs or whatever, those characters are usually attempting to be. You're trying to get a better character, unless it's like one of those hentai games.
Generally,
You're trying to get like hotter girls or whatever that are usually stronger. Not that I have experience with those games or anything, but
You're always trying to get like the UR or the
you're trying to get the stronger
SSR.
character, but in Fortnite, it's just skins that don't help you. They're just cool, in quotes, cool. So
Yeah.
I think there's some kind of difference there, but I agree what you're trying to say. Agree with what you're trying to say. So,
Man, I just.
so I can't believe you're not excited about the new Battle Royale game, but I guess we'll move on then. I was gonna talk about that for like another hour, but whatever. So Assassin's Creed 15th anniversary.
You know,
Woo!
you know, I never played any Assassin's Creed games really. I didn't like the ones I've played because I bought 2 of them by accident also.
Nice.
The one I played was like supposed to be like taking you back through some of the old ones, like going through memories and stuff, and it was so
it just seems boring.
Like I was doing the mechanics and stuff, and I was like working with it, but then it just would make me fail every time, and I couldn't understand how. Like it was not very clear. The controls weren't very great. Sometimes you would just be like running and then start climbing on walls. I'm like, I didn't want to do that, but okay. Like, what other game are you just going to be running and accidentally start climbing up a building when you were like trying to go the other way?
Yeah.
Like
it's.
I'm sure the newer games are fun.
I guess there's a new Assassin's Creed game coming out. It takes place in 16th century Japan. Oh wait, no. Okay.
Ooh.
They're releasing multiple. I guess it's like this whole 15th anniversary. They're like releasing a whole bunch of stuff, like trailers or whatever. So I guess there's gonna be one in Japan, one in 16th century Europe, which I think they've done like 4 times already. And I mean, you have to understand that even if Assassin's Creed is like cool gameplay or whatever, it came out in 2007 and they're still making games, and every game is the exact same game.
Yeah.
The story is slightly different, the area is slightly different, but you're killing people.
Yeah.
Which granted, you could say the same thing about Saints Row, but the thing is, Saints Row 2, you're like growing your gang and fighting off all these other gangs that are trying to take over your territory. But then in Saints Row 4, you're creating a game to fight an alien overlord inside of like a Matrix simulation.
What?
It's wild. It is so fun. I love
That's insane.
And you have like superpowers.
Interesting.
Yeah. I believe Saints Row 3 is like similar to Saints Row 2. Actually, I've heard nothing about Saints Row 3. I know that Saints Row 2 is like the best one, people say. And then the new one's like the worst. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. See, that's why I like playing old games, is because they're always, for some reason, the older games always have better stories or somehow have better mechanics. It's really weird.
I think it's because like gaming wasn't as big in that time, I guess. So I think what I'm trying to say is they had more time to come up with a game and write it and whatever. Nowadays it's like new game every year, new Call of Duty, new this, new that, new, keep going, new. No one plays a game for longer than an hour and then gets bored or whatever, you know?
Like, the only reason older games ever sucked was because, like, technical limitations. Like, they were literally incapable of making a game that would not break because things were just so limited sometimes. It's like, how are you going to make a good game on the NES? Like, your maximum number is 255. What?
Yeah.
You know, like, if there's a glitch in an NES system, I'm not going to blame them. Because I'm like, you know what? Amazing game. Love the game. Like, with what you had, I can't believe you had so many colors. Amazing. Like honestly. Like, the fact that Metroid was on the NES and had all these blinking colors and stuff, I was like, that's amazing. These graphics are so cool. Like, I was impressed with most games on the NES. Like, very fun, despite technical limitations. And games these days still can't keep up.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so what I've just learned by reading a little bit about Saints Row 3 is that so after Saints Row 2, when you take over Stillwater, which is the name of the city, you become like your gang becomes a brand name, which is the Third Street Saints. That's the gang name. So like there's bobbleheads, there's sneakers, there's energy drinks, there's all kinds of stuff. And then a new gang is like, we're gonna take you down. So it's kind of different from Saints Row 2, but it's kind of similar. But then again, all the characters from Saints Row 2, at least the ones that didn't die, are now like older, including you. So that's a fun thing about Saints Row. Not to talk about Saints Row again for an hour, but every single game you can just like remake your same character from like the last game, because the story just keeps going. So it's not like a whole different. It's not like Assassin's Creed where you have completely different time zones essentially, or time eras, whatever. It's like
Yeah.
this game, like, it just keeps going forward, and so like you keep creating your same character, and then it's like that character living throughout this thing. It's cool. I love Saints Row. Sorry.
It does sound really fun, honestly. I
Yeah.
might. I don't know if I would play it, but it does look really cool.
Yeah.
Also, the first thing that I looked up when I looked up Saints Row, it was really hot, man. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd like Saints Row. I mean, because it's kind of. I mean, if you like, I guess you may like it because you like doing everything, and there's a lot of things to do in the game. So. Yeah.
I like it because I like doing everything. Ah, you're so right.
Yeah. Yeah, who cares? Assassin's Creed 15th anniversary. We like barely talked about it. We talked about Saints Row.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Like, oh yeah, here's some actual gaming news. Not interested.
Who cares? Have you ever met someone who's like, I love Assassin's Creed?
And that's the weird
have you
thing.
met? I've seen like maybe one person that has an Assassin's Creed tattoo, and that's like it.
So my elder brother Michael, he's really weird. My friend, I will call him Otter because that's his gamer tag. Is Otter. Yeah.
Awesome. That's hot.
Yep. His gamer tag is actually the sexy Otter.
Oh, like, Otter. I think you're saying hotter, like Hotter.
The little creature that like washes itself in the water. They're super cute. I love them.
We're getting sidetracked.
Anyway, yes, otters are so cute. You should look up some gifs of them.
So you're saying that you do know people that are fans of Assassin's Creed?
Yes. It's kind of crazy. So much so that one of my friends, or like the one who, like a friend of mine who really liked Assassin's Creed, was like, "Hey Nick, I have too many Assassin's Creed hoodies. Do you want mine?"
What?
They had like 5 or 6 Assassin's Creed hoodies or like jackets, and they're like, "Nick, I have too many. Do you want one?" And I was like, "Huh? I mean, sure, I guess." I just have like a black and white Assassin's Creed jacket. I mean, it's cool, but like, why do they have so many?
I guess it's the same as like, I mean, it's made by Ubisoft, a fan favorite company. I guess it would be the same as like Far Cry, where there's like 6 of them, and it's like, have you ever met someone that's a big fan of Far Cry? Then
just my cousin Josh, but that's the only person I know who's ever mentioned that game to me.
Because like there has to be people that like these games that keep buying them. Because if they're not being bought, they're not going to keep making them.
And like my friend Izzy, he literally only played like one of the recent Assassin's Creed games, or like it was one where it was in Rome, and he had only played it because he didn't have his PC anymore. That's the only reason. He didn't have his PC for a month, so he's like, I have to play something, so I guess this'll do. Like literally. Because the game had come with the system, or it was already on there, so he's like, all right, I guess. Like, I don't know anyone who actually plays those games.
Yeah.
Like, except for the people that were like, oh man, favorite game ever. And I'm like, why?
I mean, I watched people play Far Cry 6 and be like, this game is the same as the last 4. Like, why do we buy this game? It's
Wait, what is this? Zombie game? No, wait, what is this?
Far Cry?
This looks like post-apocalyptic, but no zombies.
What are you talking about? Far Cry?
I'm looking at Far Cry, yeah.
Are you talking about like Far Cry New Dawn, where like the bomb goes off in Far Cry 5?
I'm guessing because
know
like
why I
everything
know
looks
that.
all like destroyed and broken, and like they're using like makeshift weapons and stuff. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, it's probably Far Cry New Dawn. It's like a New Vegas to your Fallout
Oh,
3,
and
essentially.
this one he's using a sniper rifle. Oh, this is the first Far Cry, and it actually looks fun. Of course, I think the first one looks fun, while the rest of these are kind of lame. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, because it's the first one. It doesn't have it doesn't have the or the 6 extra games that also look the exact same.
Like, I think that's also something. Sometimes the new graphics for games really trip me up because it's hard to tell where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to be doing because there's just everything is so detailed, nothing is being obvious. Like, there's
Mhm.
nothing obvious to me anymore. Like, because in older games, things were usually kind of like slightly blander, for the things that you don't really need to pay attention to, and they put more attention to detail on the things that
Yeah.
were important. So it's like, okay, you know what you need to do because it's like these are the important things. So older games were just easier in that respect. Yet, despite being way harder because you had to get over the system issues.
Yeah. It's like Left 4 Dead, usually the reason you know where you're going is because that hallway is usually lit up. Like, lots of the areas in Left 4 Dead are really dark, and you have to use your
Yeah.
flashlight, but like, the hallways that you see a light or, like, there's headlights pointed at, like, this certain alley or whatever, it's like, "Okay, I gotta go
Mhm.
that way."
Like
Which, then again, it's
I
really hard to see when you're in the middle of a horde, but, they try their best.
see, like I've been playing this game like called Dying Light 2 with some of my friends lately.
Yeah,
That
I've heard
game
of it.
is so hard for me because I never know where to go.
Mhm. Well, that game's like
Like
a free roam, isn't it?
yeah, but like things aren't very obvious on like where I'm supposed to jump, like the rooms and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't know what's important
Well,
wherever I am,
you should try Dying
and
Light
that
1 then.
probably like Dying Light. Also, I think the skill level I'm at is just way below what I need to be for Dying Light 2.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of parkour attacks and stuff, and I'm just not good with the parkour apparently.
Yeah.
Like there was a challenge that you have a full 3 minutes to do or whatever, and I would like do a jump and then I would die. And it's like, well, I guess I just have to because it sets you
Nice.
back to the beginning of the map. And
Yeah.
it gives you a full 3 minutes to do it, so it's a long map. So when you die 2 times and you get sent back to the start, it's like, well, I guess that's it. Like
Yeah,
wild stuff like that.
Dying Light 2 looked fine. So, Dying
Like
Light 1 had a story, but I think they weren't really leaning hard in the story. They're leaning hard in, like, the parkour stuff, but Dying Light 2, they leaned like, they forward like, they're doing like, the flexibility tester on the gym floor with, like, where you have to lean forward and push the little peg forward, in, like, the box. They
uh-huh.
were doing that with the story, and they tried to get to the end. Um, yeah, and I think, like, because of that, like, things like the parkour and, like, giving zombies health bars, which, hello? Why? Like,
I mean, I don't mind the health bars. It helps.
I mind that. That's why I mind the health bars, because it helps. I hate that. Don't help me. I'm fighting
What? Help
zombies.
me.
Don't help me.
Okay.
I wanna be like, "Is this guy about to die? I don't know." You know?
So that game is like really hard. The health bars are kind of necessary, like because everything has levels, right?
I
So
hate that too.
with
Sorry. I
yeah,
just the new form
it's
of
a
FPS
zombie
game pisses
RPG.
me off. And I know this is
The
not an
thing
FPS
is,
game, but sorry.
it's an RPG.
Yeah.
Like it's a zombie RPG. That's the thing. Like you level up, you gain combat skill points and parkour skill points, and you can level up your health or your stamina with like things you find around the map. Like
Yeah.
it's a
I get it.
full-blown RPG.
Uh-huh.
Apparently you gain health when your player rank goes up. I don't even know what player rank is. Anyway,
You have to pay for it.
and like there's also apparently classes that are decided based on the armor you wear,
Uh-huh.
which is weird. I don't know how I feel about that
So,
one.
Dying Light 1, I think, has that, like, I think it has, like, it has a skill tree of, like, you can do a jumping kick now, you can do running now, you now have more sprint, whatever, whatever. But they
Yeah.
didn't have health bars. And, like,
Hmm.
I understand that if you have different types of enemies, like, you have to have some way to show the player that you're what you're doing is doing nothing to that thing. But at the same, there has to be a better way than health, because like, just I don't want to see how much health it has. I want to be like, I'm just gonna keep whapping on it till it goes down, you know. So,
Like,
but that's just me, I guess.
I don't know. I see why they did it if they were having a leveling system the way they do.
Mm-hmm. What?
Like,
Sorry.
because, like, I'm assuming in the old one it's more perks and less like, oh hey, here's this. But I don't know.
I
Like,
mean, yeah,
maybe they just wanted to do something different with it. Maybe they just wanted to try it out.
probably.
Because Dying Light 1 and Dying Light 2 seem to be very similar in the ways, like, because I'm looking at the skill trees, it looks the exact same. Like, honestly, it looks the same, just in a different menu.
Yeah.
And like the way you were describing it, those were the kind of perks you could get with like parkour. It's like, oh yeah, not like you have a dart skill, so you like hold shift and you are faster for a couple seconds. Now you have a dash skill, so you can use your stamina to go even faster for longer periods of time. Like, oh, now you can vault over zombies by pressing these buttons, you know, when they're staggered. Like, there's stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the game is just so tough. I kind of like having the health bars to know
You're a pansy.
where I stand.
Okay.
Dude. Well, like, it's just so hard to physically do anything because like the zombies can parkour. And like, stop.
I don't think they can parkour in the first. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I guess
like in the second one they can.
My
Like,
real problem comes from. Sorry. In Far Cry 6. Sorry about the ums. Far Cry 6
you're fine.
also has health bars. Wolfenstein Youngblood has health bars, which hurt me when I saw that. Because Wolfenstein hits hard for me. You know, very fun game. Which I, by the way, beat Wolfenstein Youngblood for like the third time. The Old Blood, not the Youngblood. Wolfenstein the Old Blood for like the third time. It's a great game. And I really love when I shoot someone in Wolfenstein and they like stagger a little bit, and I'm like, oh, and then they stand back up. I'm like, so I just shoot them more and then they die. And I also like when their heads explode, but that's like a whole different, conversation. We should probably stop because I'm just gonna keep talking about health bars and how much I hate them. And how
Also, we are at about an hour, I think.
Yeah, and how like every game needs health bars now because like, oh, we gotta help the player make sure they are using the right type of weapon. Whatever.
Well, it's not even always about that. Like, if there's like a boss that has a crap ton of health, if you don't know where you are, it's like, I mean, do I keep going or should I just like give it up? Like, if you're fighting a boss that has 3,000 health and you're doing like 50 damage, like that's fine, you know, because it's like, okay, just keep going. I'll kill them eventually. I know. But if you just don't, if you genuinely have no way of knowing if you're actually doing anything or not, you know.
So in Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, the final boss battle is you and this like giant monster who is blind, and the only way you can damage it is by shooting it in the mouth.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's blind, and there's no health bar or anything. So like when you shoot, it will attack where you are. So while you have to like shoot. I found this like one spot where there's like 2 levels. And like you stand on the stairs, fire, you then run down, you shoot your gun, hit him in the mouth, run down the stairs. He then slams on the stairs, you then run back up. And it's like it gets really hard because like all these enemies are shooting at you, and it takes the guy so long to finally like smash, and his like attacks are so delayed that they can really get out of the way. But I know if I start shooting at them, he's gonna hit me and do like half my health. So yeah. So it takes me a while to finally get in the groove and be able to like beat him, but after I do, I feel like I did that, dude. I'm so good at gaming, you know.
Well, like, so in games where there is no level up systems and like statistics aren't being increased by anything, it makes sense to not have health bars because like Silent Hill, for instance, on hard mode everything has double health or whatever, but like it's consistent. Every enemy of this type has the exact same amount of health. So if you know 6 bullets kills that enemy, like 6 pistol bullets kills it, then you now know. Like, it's like that thing will always die from this many bullets, like give or take maybe 1 bullet if I don't hit them right, you know?
Right.
Like, you generally can tell based on the kind of enemy, how much it'll take to kill them. Just by playing, you'll get more experience as a player. But in games where levels exist, and it's like, okay, well, this zombie looks the exact same as that zombie, but it's a different level, so I don't know how many takes it'll take. You know, I have no idea or gauge to know anything about this. So,
I guess
in cases like that, that's why Dying Light 1 probably wouldn't need a health bar for anything. If they had health bars in Dying Light 1, that's weird.
I guess
if they didn't
then
have
again,
actual level
like, when you give a zombie a level and you're implying that zombie has killed enough other people to level up. It's kind of wild, but like, I know what you're trying to say. I'm not trying to disprove you or anything. I'm just saying it's kind of wild.
Like, you saying that is actually kind of crazy. Like, imagine if we could see levels and we see a zombie. It's like, that's level 30. How many people did it kill? How long has this zombie survived?
Yeah, you see its experience bar, and it's like, oh wow.
Because in Dying Light 2, they talk like the apocalypse happened a long, long time ago. And, like, this is just the world now. Like, they're like, back in 2024, like, back in, like, this year, this, like, thing happened, and they talk about it like it's history. So I'm like, oh, snap. Like, there's no guns in Dying Light 2 because they talk about, like, oh, yeah, we used up all the ammunition, and we had no way to create more. So, guns and ammo became obsolete.
Right.
Like, you can't use a gun if you have no bullets. We couldn't do anything with it. So, like, people started making, like, makeshift bows and cleavers and just axes and stuff. I'm like, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. That's cool. I actually really liked that part. That was good world building, in my opinion. That was something that never made sense to me in zombie games, was why are you using guns in an apocalypse when
rule of cool.
You can't. Yeah, like, it's cool, but, like, I was always like, oh, this is actually giving me anxiety because now you don't have those bullets, and where are you going to get more? It always scared me. That's the scariest part about apocalypses to me. Lack of resources. But...
yeah. All right.
I lost my point. I went on a tangent, and I lost it.
We're talking about levels and how a zombie at level 30 would be scary. So I'd have to kill, like, hundreds of people to reach that level.
Yeah. Like, that zombie must have, like been, like, living for, like, 15, 20 years. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm a real old zombie. I evolved because I killed so many people.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Okay.
Jeez.
Last question. I just thought of this. So, how long do you think you would survive in a zombie? Let's say zombie apocalypse started today. You had no time to prep, and it started right now. How long do you think you would live? Like a ballpark.
However long it would take for me to get a pistol to shoot myself.
Awesome. Cool. I would like to think I'd be like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep fighting. I think I'd die pretty fast though. So,
like, I wouldn't even try. I would, like, look for the first gun I could. One to the cranium.
Okay. Well, when we're playing Barrow Trauma, whatever. When we're playing that game, if you shoot yourself, I'm gonna be very upset with you.
Oh, no worries. I'll be fine. I'll do great.
There's gonna be, like, one whole breach, and you're like, oh my god.
See, I can do video games because, like, you know, I can level up. I can get better skills. In the real world, my level is 1, and I can't gain experience.
Oh, so
that's how I treat it.
You're not like the level 1 superhero and whatever that trope is now, where you're like, oh, the unsuspecting guy is now is like Superman.
Yeah. Like, that's like something I have with video games when you try to compare them to reality. It's like, oh yeah, that's a level 50 character now, and he can kill level 1 characters in one hit. It's like, I can't do that. You know? Just level up just by going through the world. If we actually went into these journeys, we would never make it in a leveling system, unless the system suddenly was like, oh yeah, you can, like, now suddenly become superhuman because we said you could. You know? Like, we'd get messed up. Without a leveling system, we're toast. My strength is, like, 0. My stamina, terrible.
Alright, okay, let's say who
cares if I have decent speed?
Let's say I came to your house
for more than 5 seconds.
Let's say I came to your house and the zombie apocalypse had started, and you were, like, crumbled up in your room like the little guy you are. Would you? And I had so I had a gun, and then I had my hand. Would you grab my hand, or would you grab the gun?
Grab the gun.
Okay, I was just curious. Okay, that's enough of the TGOM podcast for today. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next Sunday, not Tuesday. Goodbye.
Bye.